Welcome to Husky Radio, episode 11.
11.
No, another Stranger
11.
Things reference.
Yeah,
11.
we're just talking about since it's 11.
Welcome
that's
talking
what
about
we're
Stranger
right?
Things.
Welcome back to another Stranger Things episode.
Another Stranger
This
Things
podcast.
episode.
Stranger Things podcast.
Everything should be Stranger Things, I feel like.
I think we should talk like this in the microphone.
Oh,
We're going to talk like
I think people will really enjoy it.
Welcome to Husky
Hey,
Radio.
Kyle's back.
Kyle is
Oh,
back.
yeah, hey, guys.
Welcome
So,
back.
I'm back.
Welcome back. I don't know the rest of the song, but that's
when you went away. Welcome back, Cotter.
Welcome back,
theme
Cotter.
Song.
the greatest,
It's,
the second
70s.
greatest show about teaching.
70s.
Oh.
What's the first greatest?
Hanging with Mr. Cooper.
Okay.
Hanging with Mr. Cooper.
Are you smarter than a fifth
What
grader?
about is Community about teaching? What's about learning?
It's about learning. We gotta go. It's about teaching.
Interesting. But when you teach, you do learn.
I would pick Mr. Feeney as like the
No,
greatest
he's the best
TV teacher.
That's the discuss. All right. Who's
Oh,
the
God,
best
that's
TV teacher?
The best,
Best
TV
TV
right
teacher.
now.
Oh my
on
goodness.
the spot.
Feeney.
Best teacher.
I'm
He's
saying
saying Feeney.
I'm saying Feeney.
I'm taking Giles from Buffy. He's a
that's
librarian,
really
but
good
he
too.
teaches them
Oh,
everything.
That's really awesome. That's a great choice.
What do you got?
But did he actually teach
uh,
anything other than fighting?
No, but he taught fighting very well.
He did
His
teach
Slayer lived
fighting.
for 7 years.
Playing punk rock bass.
Yeah, he
He
does.
did that. Okay. Best TV teacher all
Go,
time.
Kyle.
That's not Mr. Feeney because I already picked him.
Of course, I would pick the number one teacher of all time, Mrs. Frizzle from the Magic School Bus. So, sorry, guys.
Hit
Sorry,
me.
I had to
He won.
hit you with that
Counts.
one.
That's
but-
pretty. That's pretty
Damn.
solid.
Can't believe
That's
we
a good
didn't think
choice.
about that.
That's a good choice.
I don't even say Mr. Feeney's my favorite from Boy Meets World.
Your favorite? Oh, you like
I like the I don't remember
cool
his
guy with
name.
the-
Yeah, but he adopts
Oh,
Sean.
Mr.
It's really weird.
I feel like his name's John.
That sounds kind of right. He's got a cool guy name.
It's
I
a
feel like.
good guess. There's a lot of Johns out there, so I'd
So what are we actually talking?
What are we talking about today? We've got to talk about Iron Banner because that was this week.
It's
That's all
back.
we did. The banner is back. The Iron Banana is back.
Yes,
And so we have to talk about that.
filled with potassium
We are going to chat about
coming out of my ass.
our favorite. No, not our favorite. Our dream exotics.
Dream.
So in Destiny, we're going to stick
You
with Destiny just a little bit.
dream. I don't
So
know
we're
the
going to talk
rest
about
of
dream
it.
exotics. And then we're wrapping up with something horror related, of
Something
course.
horror related.
I don't know what it is yet, but we're going
alright.
to talk about horror
just
movies.
gonna
gonna-
be a surprise.
Yes.
To all parties.
To all parties.
All
We'll just figure something out.
parties.
It'll be great.
Excellent.
Yeah, hopefully, if you haven't, you should be watching the two movies that Scott and I recommended last week, not yesterday. It was Reanimator and Darling. You should be watching those. We will be, of course, giving you new movies to watch that are streaming. I've got mine already.
I don't. I can't. I forgot
That's
to look it
sad.
up.
You'll
but
have to pull up, Netflix on your phone.
I will.
and
I don't have my
figure
phone though.
something out.
We're recording.
Oh, that's right. We're using your phone to record. That's gonna be
I'll
really
pull up
tough for
Netflix
you.
on your phone.
Sounds fair. Sounds fair. So that's what we're talking about. Let's, gentlemen, let's start with Iron Banner.
Iron
Yeah, Supremacy.
Banner.
Supremacy. So new game type,
Yes.
new Iron Banner leader.
Lots. Everything is
Ifrit.
different.
Aphrodite.
Aphrodite.
Aphrodite. Yeah.
Do you think we'll ever get to see her without her helmet on?
Do we? We don't see most people with it off. Well, I guess we do. We see Saladin.
We see like everyone.
Well, what about Shax? Do we see him with this off?
Yep.
Do we? When?
Shax. We never see Shax.
We never see him with his, so
I
we don't
don't
know what he
know.
looks like. Oh
Yeah.
no.
I don't know what Shax looks like.
I have no idea.
Interesting.
I
What
guess
if
we
the
do see that.
horn on his helmet is really a horn on his
horn
actual
on
head?
his face.
and
Whoa.
The helmet is formed around his horn.
Deep thoughts.
Deep
thoughts.
Shax is. Oh yeah, it does have a horn.
I thought
all the Vanguard are helmetless.
Yeah, we see them. Yeah, and then I guess that's it. Really,
Yeah.
that's in the game.
Aphrodite's intro
I just want to know if
was
she's human,
she's-
awoken. I would assume human, but that's just my guess.
Probably.
who
Iron
knows.
Lords.
All I know
Iron
is
Lords are older. I feel like the
she's
got to
be
races are newer.
old. Yeah,
right?
like
I mean, they're all old. They're immortal.
Well, yeah, but I mean, like, I feel like Iron Lords are like old,
old are we?
Guardians. I don't know how old
that's
we are.
true. Ghost
Because they're from
originally
the-
they're like
says that our
pre-Guardians.
lifespan
They're like, yeah, they're
was
from the Golden
originally-
Age,
Yeah,
right?
they're like
And I don't think
pre-Guardian.
Exo and Awoken would be around before.
Shouldn't be. So she's
No.
got to be human.
So she's
Yeah.
got to be human. And our lifespans were tripled when the Traveler came.
That's
I know
accurate.
that.
That's true.
So-
but then we're like super immortal. Like that's regular people whose lives
True.
are
Yeah.
tripled, right? I don't know how. stories.
We were
weird.
dead for a while, so does that
I don't
do
know.
those
Yeah,
years
I don't.
count?
I've never
Dead-
understood.
Our ghost always says he was looking for us for
Yeah.
like a long time.
forever. So they're just like, how come we never see any other ghosts that are just like floating around?
You
like,
see some in the
scanning?
tower. I've seen
Right,
ones
but I
fly
want to.
by,
I want to
but-
see them like when I'm on the level, like scanning dead bodies.
That'd be cool.
like,
Yeah.
as we're going around.
That'd be cool. I would
Iron
like
Banner though.
Iron Banner. So Supremacy. Let's start kind of on the outside and work our way in.
Okay.
Let's talk about you start. You get a cutscene, very short. You get nothing other than
the worst introduction.
worst
You get a
Oh, yeah.
cutscene that
Character.
I'm alive, and I'm like, who are you again?
who?
And Saladin's like, oh, good to see you.
Yeah,
You know,
I always thought you would come back.
Yeah.
Stuff that
You want it to be really like deep and meaningful, and she's just like, "Yeah, I'm here."
and
Woo!
she still has her
Woo!
helmet on.
Let's go
like,
shoot each other. Yeah, there's nothing.
Maybe
there's nothing. It's
because
not like
she's
where have you
horribly
been.
disfigured and she doesn't want to show us.
But
what
is I mean,
happened.
Maybe,
why
yeah.
why didn't she die with the rest of them? Is she a coward and ran away? I
know.
need to know the backstory.
We know that she has been living somewhere far away where she learned to use the light in a peaceful way and
Yes.
has come back
ooh.
for Iron Banner
I
for
hope-
some reason.
I hope she gets
She
something
feels the
a
need to
little bit
fulfill.
more.
I don't really understand it because they're like, she felt the need to come back and fulfill her duty to the Iron Banner. I'm like, what do you mean? It's just a bunch of guys like fighting each other.
It's just
What
people-
duty? We're all just murdering each other for
It's-
fun.
Yep.
It's just good
That's
times,
literally
like-
what it is, and I love
Yeah.
that because we are immortal and our
Yeah.
ghost resurrects us. I love that we are literally killing each
Yeah.
other. It's not a simulation.
No, it's
we
not.
are going out and murdering each
Yeah,
other.
that's fine.
So we walk in and they restructured bounties. They
did.
took away the weekly buff that, you know, as the week goes on, you get more buff. But the bounties, four bounties,
Four.
That's
four for the
it.
week, and that's it. Do you guys like that?
Well, I wish there were daily bounties, not because I want to rank up faster, because a separate issue is ranking up, and I think ranking up is fine right now. I just like having bounties to do for some sort of little sense of accomplishment. Like, I don't know.
I definitely agree with that. If it's like the 4 bounties, I finished pretty quick.
Yeah.
And then it's just like, oh, okay, now I just play Iron Banner. Like I like
Now I just play the
I like
game.
having
I just
to
play?
What?
yeah, I like
no.
having to accomplish stuff. You
Yeah,
know?
it-
And there have been bad bounties in the past that didn't work well, that caused people grief. So I think they were just trying to simplify it.
I like
but-
that they have like a point system on the
Yeah,
bounties.
that's what I was going to say.
interesting.
As someone who sucks at getting heavy, but can always
That
get
was always the
primary kills.
toughest.
That is like the
one,
hardest
yeah.
part, yeah.
And
is the
so
getting
so
them.
whenever there was one that relied on, you know, get 7 heavy kills, that was always the last one for me
Mm-hmm.
to get. And I think it was probably for a lot of people. And so to make it not meaningless, but if you're good at getting heavy, you're going to finish that bounty quicker.
Yeah.
But to make it sort of like, this is one path you can take. You can get your points another way because we're all, you know.
In that vein, I feel like they should have made those weekly bounties a little harder, or just made them daily
Maybe.
bounties.
I like-
Because I don't know
yeah.
anyone who didn't complete like all of them in one day.
Yeah,
Like,
Oh, yeah.
I liked the old one where it was like there was a bunch of criteria on one of the multiple of the weekly bounties.
yeah, it was
And,
like reach rank 4, get the highest score. On
Yeah,
your
I loved
team
that
in one
bounty. I
match,
thought that was
and-
cool. It felt good to accomplish that because, like, for some people, getting the top score on the team is a little more difficult
This
than
guy,
for others.
hard for
but-
him, I'm sure.
But
Well, and I
But-
did wonder, to get the top score in Supremacy, and I know we're going to talk about the gameplay here in a moment, but is that just you need your name at the top of the list? I
Yeah.
mean, is that pretty
As a
much it?
score, I mean,
Yeah.
I guess.
It's just it's a different type of scoring.
Yeah, I mean, in theory, you could kill nobody and be top scorer
Correct.
on your team.
Yeah.
that'd
you're
be
fast.
you'd have to. pick
You
up
just
a
like you would
lot,
have to be
but-
picking up like everybody's crest the whole time. But yeah,
You're the cleaner.
yeah.
He's coming around cleaning up. So bounties, decent, but I would say just about everyone I've heard from ran through them day one.
Yeah, they
And
made just weekly bounties, but they made them the difficulty of daily bounties, which just
Yeah.
kind of kills your motivation to keep going. Like even if I had hit rank 5 already, like I'd feel more motivated to play if there was some fun
Still
bounties
something to
that
do.
might. I like. Well, I don't know because the bounties drop really good rewards, which is
It would be nice to have more rewards, but,
right. But I'm so flush with
I have
rewards
no,
from
I
Iron
have-
Banner.
I am
will
very
say-
good with the rewards.
It's
system.
almost
There-
there's too much, so maybe just have one of the daily if we wanted them to add daily bounties, like make it instead of 4 weekly ones that all give a reward, like one of the daily ones gives a reward.
I mean, there's
That's
4
it of
weekly bounties. Just make 7 of them and 1 available every day.
Yeah.
You know,
That
then,
could be interesting. Yeah,
then
you've got to
you could-
play then every day to get that little boost and
Yeah.
to get that potential drop. And
I guess
I
that's
will say
probably
I
to
don't think
try
I
to
had a
curb.
single unbent tree drop because that was the one that was the one dropping along with the shotgun.
Is that for real?
I'm dead serious.
Oh, I thought you were joking.
I got
literally have
5 shotguns.
I have so many unbent trees that like I can't. I had to go through and look at all their perks to find my good one.
I have
that
tons
I had
of
like
proud spires.
I had 7 of them, and I was like, I don't remember
You
which
had
one. This is my
7?
good one. I have had so many
Unbelievable.
unbent
I
I have
trees.
so many
2.
proud spires that it
Oh,
hurts.
I've got a lot of proud spires too.
I did finally get the ghost shell, and that was a huge light
Nice.
boost for me. It went up 11. Like I went from 365 to 376. My ghost shell. It was.
Oh,
amazing.
you're just
Just
I thought
the
it was like
ghost,
your
yeah.
overall.
he was
light.
using a level 3
Yeah, he
ghost,
was
and then he
using a
And then I got a
300.
365. It was
Yeah.
amazing.
Huge leap.
Yeah.
Well-
So no, I really like the drops, and I haven't heard too many complaints.
Well, Kyle and I have like it's like a complaint, but it's not really a complaint, right? It's like I'm not mad that there's a lot of drops, but at the same time, it's like there's almost too many
Really?
drops.
Like we're basically seeing like the fact that I think I played 6 or 8 games of Iron Banner, and I had a full outfit for my Warlock of armor and stuff.
Really?
And like in the past for Iron Banner, you know, you only got 1 armor piece a
Yeah.
week.
Mhm.
And so like it made you come back every week to play it. And so it was just like wow, this is a lot. Maybe they shouldn't have gone so hard with the rewards.
Yeah,
And
for me,
at least maybe the spectrum of reward. You know, like the
See, I don't
fact that
think
you
I got
can
a
get
whole lot of
every armor piece.
I think the only weapons I didn't get I didn't get the sidearm or the machine gun, and I got every other Iron
Wow.
Banner weapon, and I have full armor set except for helmet for the Iron Saga ones.
Yeah.
I don't think I
I
had
will
any
say-
helmets dropped.
I will say this about the rewards though. I appreciate the amount of drops that you can get because of the different rolls you can get on guns, and because that's such a cool thing for me to get
Yeah.
different rolls on guns. Like I love
Especially when the raid
All-
weapons don't have different roles. It's all
Yeah.
the same. So
And
to
I love
have
all the-
something
Same with
to-
trials.
Yeah, to have something to look for.
And I love all the Iron Banner weapons right now. They're all really fun to use,
Oh,
and
yeah.
so like the hand cannon I love, but I obviously want one with explosive rounds because that's
Tell you, man, I think Damien. No, he has Firefly and explosive rounds.
see that's what I've never.
That's
that's
a good
all
roll.
I've wanted since the start of.
I will say
Taken
I
King,
am not a
basically.
fan of the way they look. I'm a fan of the way they
I
are. I like the guns. I like the types they are, but they look so to me just so kind of thrown together. Like
Well, you were
from
telling
a
me what
these are
you-
golden age weapons. They're designed based on the original like Iron Lord's weapons that they crudely made, so they have to look that way.
But then it's hard for me to believe that they'd be such good weapons
They're
because they
imbued
look like
with our light.
But you wish they had some functionality, right, Tyler?
Oh
with the
yes,
bayonet,
if it has a bayonet, I should be able to go up to someone and stab them because that is
Well,
what a bayonet is
In that
for.
same vein, you would think that a hunter melee does more damage because you stab them with a knife. But
Yep. I just want to be able to and Kyle pointed out you cannot sprint up to someone and stab them because your gun drops when you sprint.
true.
So you'd have to
have to
sprint
physically
and then
walk.
stop and then walk into them with your bayonet.
you
And I
go.
just think that'd be really funny to see. Imagine watching this.
If you had
two guardians
contact
going like
damage,
this.
good.
that'd be horrible.
It'd be hilarious.
Awful.
It to me they just it's not that I get why they look
Yeah.
like the way they look.
Yeah.
It's just they all look exactly the
They
same
really-
with like
it's
a
hard for
leather
me-
strap
It's
and
hard
then
for
some
me
fur.
to tell
Why
in
do you
my
need fur on
inventory
your
which
gun?
one's which, like quickly.
They
just-
all
yeah,
look very
yeah,
similar.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the design works well for the primaries, but like I agree. I don't think a fusion rifle that like something that's shooting out plasma beam energy that looks like it's just a cardboard tube.
Yeah.
like is weird to
Like
me.
it's gonna fall apart. It just
Yeah.
and fur. I get fur on the armor
Yeah.
because it's cold. Why does my gun need fur?
Keep your hands warm. Can't have your trigger finger freezing up.
It's just a little glove that you
Yeah,
slip into.
it's fine. What's your favorite of the primaries? What's your best roll? What's your best one?
Best roll.
Best roll.
I don't have like any crazy rolls on the guns. I just have gotten a bunch of them, but
they've all become infusion fodder for me. I think I've kept one.
Wow.
Yeah.
I have
Fusion fodder?
ridiculous.
Oh, no, I
the
can't
unbent
even...
trees are because I have a million of them. But other than that,
No, yeah. I like the Proud Spire. I got a decent roll with Proud Spire for a secondary.
Is that the
shotgun.
Scout?
That's
No,
a
that's a
shotgun.
Shotgun, right.
Didn't have a Scout. I got one hand cannon.
the hand cannon is a beast.
Oh, mine was awful. Absolutely
Okay.
terrible.
Mine, let's see. I have all the primaries. I think my scout rifle is the best like roll on any of them because I have crazy stability and I have full auto and
Yeah, it's
hidden
perfect.
hand.
That's
So it's
just-
like
Yep,
I
it's
can
a great-
just
That's
That's-
good.
do
I'll take
nothing.
one of those,
Why I
please.
can't play
Yeah.
with you because I love that gun too much that I wish I could kill you in game and
But-
take your gun.
I hate hand cannons, but I really like the hand cannon. I was using it in trials earlier because I have the luck in the chamber, and I'm like high enough light to kind of level out the fact that I suck. So with the luck in the chamber too, I just get those random lucky trials kills that are just beautiful.
Yeah.
I love the hand cannon's my favorite archetype, which is the high impact, low rate of fire hand cannons. And so you would also like the Judith D. That is a current one that's very good. And back in the day, the
actually got
hardest
that.
hitting one ever was the Ill Will, if you ever
I had
remember
that one drop.
I
That
just
was
got that
Early
one.
Rise of Iron.
Ill Will.
I just got an ill will.
Yeah.
Oh, is that?
It's
I didn't
redropping
know-
again.
It's back.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Its
That's
roll is
sweet.
worse than my. I don't have luck in the chamber though, and
Mine
I feel
was an
like
awful
without
roll,
luck in
too.
the chamber,
Luck in
I
the
can't
chamber is
do
really
it.
cool for those high impact
Because you
ones.
can two shot
Legendary
people. It's
Mars.
amazing.
Yeah.
It's good
I do
stuff.
like I picked up one of the hunter cloaks. And by
Okay.
one I mean I picked up 5 of the hunter cloaks.
Dang.
And all of them except for one were lower than my
Your current
cloak
light.
level.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But I do like it. It looks really slick, and I had better luck with exotics and threes of coins.
Threes
of coins.
Yes.
Tres.
Because I finally got 380 mini P, the tiny P, the trespasser.
Tiny P.
And that was the only thing I wanted to use for the rest of my Iron Banner days. This is it. It's the only thing that
is perfect
quick,
for supremacy.
getting rid of those shotgunners. I love that gun. I am a fan. I'm a true fan now. I
I'm
want
jealous.
it forever.
The
Although
trespasser.
380 would basically be garbage to me. And 386.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that would
Of
do
course,
it.
yeah.
would do
Why
that.
would you stoop
I
to
get
that level?
I understand. I mean, it's
I mean, my
whatever.
385 Thorn is pretty good though. So
Yeah, that's another one. Haven't had that drop yet.
I got
That's-
lucky and I
you-
got that. I got that one, but I got unlucky by getting it on my Titan.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's unfortunate.
So that was fun to get 100 void kills with Defender when I didn't even have it completely. I don't even have the subclass completely leveled out. It was
Do you have
horrible.
the bubble, though? Or
I have the bubble,
Okay, that's
yes, but I only had Armor of Light, and I wasn't even using it.
Armor of Light is my favorite to use in
I
PvP.
just
right?
had
Oh,
I
yeah.
used Memory of Fellwinter, so I had double magnetic grenades and then void sidearm, and just that was
That's
all I
all you
used
got,
the whole
yeah.
time.
That's good.
Yeah.
So, what do we think of Supremacy, the actual game?
Oh yeah, the game.
I love Supremacy.
Do you?
It's now one of my favorite game types. I've always really liked Clash and
Yeah.
probably Clash and Control. I like those game types pretty equally. I'd say Control a little bit more, but this is like Clash with a purpose, and I really enjoy Supremacy. I think it's a ton of fun.
I really enjoy it. I've found as only when you're playing in a team
It
of people.
helps so much.
Like
Oh.
playing alone, it's horrible when you can't organize at all as a pack, like to move. But
It's tough.
I enjoy that I can die a lot in it without it necessarily impacting my team negatively.
Yeah, no, and I like that a lot because if you're running as a team,
Yeah.
really deaths don't matter as much because you're saving yourself, you're picking up the crest. I only played either in a small fire team or solo a few times and really didn't have too much trouble, but that's been the big complaint is trying to play as a solo player in
There's always
Supremacy
complaints.
is really tough and honestly I didn't notice it too much.
I don't notice it either. Like
I don't-
they're much. It's much more difficult to play as a solo player in Control.
I think so too.
So interesting. I
and,
feel like I
like-
do fine in Control on my own, but
I guess Control Iron Banners. When I play by myself, that's been my worst experience.
I
Playing
have
by
more
myself.
losing streaks where I
I don't
maxed out on Iron
necessarily-
Medallions in Control than I ever did in Supremacy.
I don't know. It's not like Supremacy is absolutely unplayable alone. It's just I felt like I only had losing streaks when I went in alone, and then as soon
Really?
as I paired up with a fire team, I would redeem
It's
my
definitely-
medallions immediately.
Yeah,
Like,
it's much more difficult alone. But I mean, imagine like remember Iron Banner Rift? Like that was just a joke. Like if you had to play alone. So
oh,
Yeah, that
Rift.
would not be fun. I would say
They should bring that back. I still think they should do Iron Banner.
they should bring
Mayhem.
it back, but it should be Husky Rift.
Yes, it
Our
should be
custom
our
game
custom
type.
game. Everybody, sword hilts only, no running, no double jumping. Rift.
Yep.
sounds awful.
It's amazing.
It's
It's really
amazing.
fun.
You haven't played it with us?
No.
yet?
Oh no! It sounds you think like no running, like it's gonna be super slow, but it's faster than you think.
Oh,
I
it's
believe
very
you.
fast.
I believe you.
Yeah, you really
Yeah.
want to max out that agility so that you're walking.
It's like
It's a little
it's
bit
like
faster.
West Side Story in Destiny. That's
And
what it is.
as a game.
So.
I like that.
What does that mean? That's
I
one of my
understood.
favorite musicals.
I
don't
understood.
know.
I get it. I
don't
get it. No, I like Supremacy quite a bit. I will say they were a little conservative with the mercy rule. That you have to hit 90 before they hit 30.
Yeah, that's
Because
bit much.
I will say I hit 100, 120 before some teams hit 50, but they'd get to 30 and kind of stall
Yeah.
out. And I thought there were many times where I thought there needs to be like a secondary mercy rule, like a second
tier.
a second
of it.
tier mercy, because I didn't notice too many people quitting. And what I love about Supremacy
I agree with this. I know what you're gonna say.
is you can make a comeback.
Yes.
Yes.
That's the best
some
part about
of
the
the
game.
So
best
good.
moments playing was we're down 40,
Yeah.
and then super,
You have the clutch moment.
and you're tied.
Yes.
It's just there were really cool moments playing Supremacy that
I agree
when
with
things
that.
come together, it's more fun than when Control comes
yeah,
together.
It's definitely the best game type for like having that team. All right, we're gonna rally. We're gonna
gonna
group up
rally.
and we're
yeah,
gonna
we
do
gotta
this.
we gotta do this.
Yeah,
you know?
I
like
love that.
We had multiple games. I remember where it was like right neck and neck at the end too. We're down by like 15.
Yeah,
and
lots
we,
of those-
We come back up
yeah.
and we win by like 2 points at the end, and it's so
150
stressful.
to 148 is just so sweet.
I lost a game. It timed out, and it was 146 to 147 when we lost. I was so mad. We literally had a crest in front of us when
Yeah.
the time hit that we
That
stepped
always-
on.
That's the worst. Well, and you just know that if anyone had picked up one more
Yep,
crest,
yep.
you would have been fine. And I think that's why I love it. It's fun, but it is very tense.
Yes, it
Where
is.
Control, you can figure out pretty quickly which team just has it
Is
going.
gonna win.
Is
It's
going to
like-
win.
It becomes obvious in like 2
unless
minutes. of
something
Control.
crazy happens.
Yeah.
Supremacy can be up in the air. And so I saw less complaints online about being thrown into a losing match.
Yeah.
Because you can come back.
You can.
And the rewards are so good.
The rewards are so good. You
I'm
might as
fine
well
with
play.
like getting
Yeah.
a quick loss. Yeah.
You throw a 3 of coins on. I mean, you've got other things that you can still get. You're still getting Crucible faction leveling. I mean, it's not like you lose completely. There's still reasons to be playing.
But now, since we're talking about, we talked about that tie game, like ending timeout. Do you think the score on Supremacy is too high to win? Because I noticed the matches go longer than your average like Control or Clash match.
I did wonder that. There were some people saying it should cap out at 100.
I don't
First to
know.
100.
I think 100's a little too low. I'd say maybe like 120.
I think I could agree
little
with
bit
120,
off,
125.
'cause we time out just a little bit too often in it for my taste.
I like the 150. I feel like it plays well. I think the time, it's like always coming down to the wire with the time at the end.
Yeah.
Like
I didn't have a single timed out game. I will
Really?
be honest.
I've had
I
I've
hit
been
rank
close.
5. I
I've
hit
been
rank
close
5 and never
only,
had a
and it's only
timed
been
out
a
game.
couple games. But at the same time, I don't really want to increase the time of the game. But
No.
I like the way how it plays with 150, just because I feel like I've had so many good games of comebacks and stuff. I wouldn't want to try and mess with that. But
It's got to be over 100.
Yeah,
feel like.
I agree.
Like,
100 is way
That's too low.
That's
That'd be
cutting
low.
out 30% of the
Yeah.
score
Yeah.
right there. That's way too much. I just
agree.
feel like maybe like 15% or 10%.
I could see
less.
125.
Yeah,
I don't think I'd
125.
complain at 125.
Yeah.
It'd be interesting. I don't.
Just in the interest of getting matches done a little bit faster,
Maybe a little bit
but
faster, yeah.
the game type's good either way. It's not a huge issue. To
What
me.
is
I've
the
just
timer?
heard,
What is the timer on the game?
no idea.
probably
10
They're
minutes?
usually 10 or 12, right? I can't remember.
So
how long
I guess
they are.
that could feel pretty long, but
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't remember a match that I had timeout. I had them getting close, but I can't remember when I played. I did notice playing as a fire team helps, and I think that goes for a lot of things.
Up and being aggressive.
Yeah, and
being a storm caller is like
it might
boom.
It might just seem like the game's timeout more when you're playing with like randoms that won't pick up crest and things like that, because then the score is never moving. So that's probably
that's the big thing. There seems to be a lot of disconnect between what Clash is, and what Control is, what Supremacy is. It's objective based, and you have to play to that objective. If you don't play to that objective, you are going to lose. It's that simple.
That's why there's all these stupid shotguns everywhere.
Stupid shotguns.
You know what? I love shotguns. I'm totally fine with it.
It's a game type.
It's a game type about why would you? I'm gonna snipe and never get a single point.
No,
that is pointless.
There was one.
You
there was
have
one
to be
guy in
close
one
for
game.
your kill.
He was sitting on the side of the map just sniping, killing our team, and I was like,
and he was still losing.
Fine,
Their
dude.
team was still losing.
We're picking up our own crest.
Yeah, I don't get upset when I get sniped because I'm like, well, my team's right by me. Like, this isn't an issue.
As long as you're running 2 or 3 deep, you're fine.
Exactly.
It's when you go solo and then you get just swamped by 5 guardians, and it hurts. But you go, I deserve this. I deserve this death. I really like Supremacy. I was not sold on it initially, but I think really Iron Banner sold it on me. That it's more competitive than Control and Clash. I mean, maybe at least equal to Clash, because you can have comebacks in Clash. I mean, you have a good turn of kills.
Clash is, in my opinion, the best for single players. Because you have a little more control on your team's score.
You kill, you get a point.
Yeah.
In Supremacy, you kill, you don't get that point quite yet.
Yeah,
There's a 2-part process.
You could, if you were sniping in Clash, let's say, you could pick one guy, snipe him, and then their team kills you, and you just traded. But in Supremacy, I mean, that's like Clash or Supremacy. Doesn't matter. Clash, you can snipe, you can trade, and you can get a point for your team, keep it even. But Supremacy, you snipe, they're all there still. They pick up his crest, they kill you. You just lost.
And kills can be unequal in Clash. I could kill you, but you could hit me with a headshot, and you'd get that headshot point. You'd get that extra point.
Little bit.
It's a kill's a kill, and you got to get that crest, and get that kill credit. I mean, it's so simple that I think that's why I enjoy it. It's easy to get. It's like any easy game. It's easy to now, work into the system and figure out exactly what's going on.
It's hard to go back. I played some Control for the legendary marks earlier today.
Did it feel slow?
It felt weird because I wanted to like run up and like onto their dead body. Like I kept playing like an idiot and running into the group to get the crest, and I was like, oh crap.
Now you just looked like a jerk. You were running up to their ghost and then like dancing back and then teabagging them. And where's the crest? Yeah.
Real quick, running up to guys reminds me of the one bad thing about shotguns in the game, which is all the hilarious people that just try to cross the entire map. Like,
I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna get you.
I love that.
Gonna happen? I'm just burying pulse rifle shots into their head. And
that's where the tiny P.
That's where the tiny
helpful.
P comes in.
The tiny P is they get within 50 feet. They can't hit you with their shotgun, but
it outcompetes shotguns at that range, and it's just
it's
glorious.
Perfect.
It's great. I had some people doing that in trials too. This one guy who was he was running Striker, and he had the shield, and he just kept trying to rush us with his shotgun, and all 3 of us are just destroying him.
I've been in games where that has been effective, and other games where it's not effective at all. You just see the right shield dude coming, and you're like, well, I'm going to kill you.
Well, and anyone who was getting, annoyed with sliding shotgun, shoulder charging Titans, this made you, change your tactic.
Yeah.
If you're going to die to these guys, figure out how not to die.
Yes, exactly.
And I think that's all it's about.
A lot of people place too much emphasis on how Bungie needs to rebalance it. Like, you just adapt to the
play.
Situation. Like,
each
find
different
a
game
way
type
to
requires
win.
different things. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. You need a different loadout. You need a different. You can't play the same character that you're playing in Control, where you can use a scout rifle. Yeah. There's absolutely no reason for a scout rifle in Supremacy.
The only reason is like a mini sniper effect where you're gonna hang back and team shoot. Like, that's it.
I would agree.
That's not effective.
No,
in the long run, really.
It's the style, and I love it. It's I really enjoy it, and
Iron Banner 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10.
Oh yeah.
Easy. What about they got rid of the bonus.
It's a good 5 out of 7.
They got rid of the bonus as you go, but they still made it pretty easy to level up your secondary
I
character.
like that.
Your
but
secondaries had the buff, which was
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
And what I think that's why it's nice that they made it easier to get up to level to get up to rank 5, because if you're like, most of us, if you work, it's going to be really hard until the weekend hits and you now can, play Iron Banner.
It was almost.
But I
like
hit rank 5
worthless
second
to
day.
play. It was almost worthless to play Iron Banner on
day one.
Tuesday,
Yeah.
like when it came out.
Just prep your
back in the day.
bounties.
Yeah, it was just like, okay,
You're just going to warm up your
bounty
bounties.
prep
Exactly.
day, warm them
Yeah.
up. But yeah, I liked I liked the old like bonuses you got from wearing the shader and stuff.
I do
but
miss that kind of.
The only issue was everybody
You
was
all look
wearing
the
it.
same, and you kind of
I liked it.
I agree.
You all looked the same, but I liked that it was like the event is happening. Like you can tell
You have
everybody's
to,
dressed
exactly.
up for the occasion.
I liked it. I think if I could change it, I would maybe have something involving some sort of bonus, but not the same.
How about it increases your drops?
That's what I was going to suggest.
Interesting.
Something
Or
where-
like extra
yeah.
motes of light, or maybe a potential for strange coins.
Give
I
it
would do
something-
Even
something-
just extra strange
extra
coins or votes
anything.
would be enough for me.
Extra
Yeah.
anything
Yeah.
that if
just
you're
give
wearing
it just
these,
a little bit so that you
little
can
bit of
choose to do that,
incentive to
or
dress
if
up.
you want to choose to be your own like person and wear a different
You
shader,
want to not run with the pack.
then
Yeah.
you can do that and not really have that big of an issue.
I agree. It was such a big thing. Back in year 2, you're wearing the right shader, you're wearing the right
Yeah.
emblem and all that, and it just
Had to find your armor that looked best with your
Yeah,
with your
'cause it all-
million.
because it all looked bad.
oh, that looks terrible.
Ooh.
I'm not gonna wear that.
I think I didn't like any of
Shame
the
to
year
my
2
family.
like legendary armor though. Really for hunters, I'm gonna say that like all the
Didn't do
chest
anything for
pieces
me.
with the weird clothy sash thing, like the
Oh,
aspirates or whatever.
yeah.
I hated those.
I enjoy the chainmail.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a chainmail guy.
Yeah, I gotta say, I normally I hate everything that warlocks have, and I think they look terrible and awful always. But I really like the look of the Iron Saga armor.
You
on
just
the
don't
warlock.
understand warlock
I
style.
really like the like
Scott. You
chainmail
just
look
don't.
that you have on it though, with like
Yes,
the
I
full
mean,
chainmail
yes.
thing.
The,
It's
the
My-
really
Iron
cool.
Banner
My
chainmail
Iron Banner
stuff
Ghost
is
dropped
awesome.
with the the perk that you get more glimmer when killing warlocks in the Crucible.
Perfect.
I would
Everyone.
never ever get rid of that ghost
Yeah.
because all I want to do is kill warlocks.
Everyone's
forever.
a warlock in Supremacy for that sweet storm call.
Oh, and
That's
it makes perfect sense why that would drop
Yes.
with that perk, because
Oh, yeah.
now let's go kill warlocks. It's great. It's great. Iron Banner. If you haven't played, you've got a little
Gotta
bit of
get
time
on
left.
it. There's great drops.
Tiny bit of time.
If when this is released, there is, I guess, one day.
One day.
One day of
You got
time
a
left.
tiny,
Tonight.
tiny
The
bit
tiny-
of time. Yeah,
Tiny
The
bit
tiny
to use
P.
the
tiny P.
P.
that's what we should all be using.
I wish I had it.
Speaking
Now,
of-
speaking of the
Speaking
tiny
of
P,
the
the
tiny
greatest
P
exotic of all
exotics.
time.
Ooh,
Our question this week was to come up, and we've actually had this question kind of in
we've
the
had
coffers.
it for like we said we were going to talk about it 2 weeks ago, and then
didn't
we
have
ran out of
time.
time, and then we unfortunately
Last week,
yeah.
Kyle was not here, so we
Yes.
saved it because he's so dedicated to this.
I think this
topic.
is my idea. Well, no, it wasn't my idea. I don't know.
I thought it was.
But
I thought it
I
was.
thought it came up when I pitched my one joke exotic.
I think
that
it
I'm
was- yeah,
going to
so-
use.
You're going
as
to
my
use this
answer
week.
still.
but I
Yeah.
wanted to be because this is fun.
Yeah.
So
I love
the
exotics.
theme was come up with the best your
You're
exotic.
Just pitch an exotic.
Pitch an
Your-
exotic,
your
what it looks
exotic.
like,
If you could
and-
make one, what would it be?
yeah, and I think I went through every weapon combination possible.
Yeah, you just tried
like
to make everything into
hand cannon, rocket launcher.
Yeah.
Hand cannon,
Um,
rocket launcher. Yes.
Yeah, hand
It
cannon,
shoots,
pulse
shoots
rifle,
mini explosives.
Yeah.
That's what explosive
Rocket
rounds are,
launcher.
though.
Explosive rounds.
Yeah.
Perfect. Yes.
rocket launcher, fusion rifle. I mean, just things that.
Perfect.
I
Rocket
don't
launcher,
even-
sniper.
Ooh,
What?
I want a
That's
Gallarhorn sniper. It tracks, and then when the bullets hit, they split into sidearm bullets and hit everyone around them.
Okay, I'm gonna take that one. That one's gonna be my exotic for the week. Who wants to start?
Well, it was originally my stupid thing, so I'll pitch my stupid thing.
Your stupid thing.
Yeah. For me, I don't know why it is, but leg exotics are the ones that I always use. I know why. It's because of the bones.
Bones of
Yao.
Yao.
That's
Yao.
what I always use on my hunter. Although recently I made the switch to the Frosties.
Frosties for life,
Which
baby.
are amazing. I love
I
the
really like
Frosties. I thought they'd be a joke, but when you run those with Memory of Fellwinter, you always have a grenade or a melee, and it's amazing. So I had to pitch a leg one, and my idea is they look like overalls. They look like denim
Oh, that's
overalls
right.
on your thing, right?
I forgot about this.
And what it allows you to do, they're plumber pants because you can jump on low-level enemies in PvE to kill them. You can
This
jump,
sounds like
you
it's,
can jump
based on
off
someone.
of. I don't know what you're talking about. It's
Yeah.
not. It's not a me. So you got a horde of thralls coming towards you. Just
That would be amazing.
jump off of all
Yes.
their heads and kill them
I love
immediately.
that.
You'd have to. I don't know how you would balance it in any way. Honestly, when
Why
I
would it
think
need
about
balancing? I mean, when are you gonna use that in PvP?
Well,
like,
that's true, but I just mean like, is it too powerful in PvE if it instantly can? Does it have a
No.
cooldown?
No.
Maybe. If nothing else, I think maybe give it a cooldown. You can only use it like twice in a row, like, and then it has like sort of a
It
recharge period.
starts taking
I
away
think
your
the
shield or something.
The balance
like,
comes in
Touch of
in
Malice.
end game like PvE activities. You're not going to go run up on enemies and
True.
like try and hop on them.
I would though.
That's,
Yeah.
yeah, with
I
these
can-
plumber
You
pants.
say he's
anything
not going
is-
to.
yeah,
I am
possible.
seeing this as
Yeah.
we're playing the raid. Scott is
I
just
will jump
jumping
on. I'll be jumping from servitor to servitor. I think it
shank
wouldn't.
to shank.
it
Would you
won't-
do
Shank to
bonus
shank.
damage on Axis at the end when you have
Yeah.
to slam?
Yes,
on
when you have to
him?
slam, that'd be
Slam
awesome.
jam. Take it
I
down.
think it
Jam.
wouldn't. I don't think it would necessarily hurt anything higher than a drag.
No.
But you could still use it to jump off of that enemy because normally
Yeah.
you can't jump on like an enemy. You know,
Right.
like there's no
Yes.
jumping on top of people physics in the game. So use it to like you need a quick escape. You can just jump onto that captain's head and then jump up somewhere
That's
else.
good.
Yeah.
Do you go into third person when you hop, or is it just kind
I
of
think
like you,
first person would be fine. I can land a jump
Yeah.
pretty easily in the game by now. I mean,
Yep, that's why not for me.
see,
'cause
jumping is my favorite.
no jumping
thing. So
going
if
on.
we could turn the only thing I have any skill at in the game is jumping. If we could turn that into a useful thing, be perfect. So that's why I pitched the
And
not
obvi- there-
Mario plumber pants.
they'd have to
Yeah.
be hunter pants because I don't see it working well with Titan. or
No.
Warlock
it would have to be
jump,
a
but-
hop.
It's a
like hunter's hop.
It's a hunter.
Yeah.
It's a hunter.
100%.
legs.
Because
I
I mean,
get that.
what would you do for the Titan? The Warlock doesn't even have a jump, so I mean, that doesn't even.
He has a float,
He has just a worthless,
Which is-
floofy glide.
which is my favorite jump out of all three.
Ridiculous.
But
Well, mine is a reimagination.
Reimagining.
Because
Imagination.
my exotic for the longest time on armor was the knucklehead radar because I want the radar. I want
Yeah.
the extra radar on my primary.
And now that's useless.
And now it's useless.
the
There's
memory
absolutely
of-
no reason.
Galleon.
Galleon,
Galleon.
Galleon.
Galleon, it gives you all the radar that you would ever need, and it's actually
It's
better,
better. It's
than
better.
because it's the same as the Night Stalker radar.
It gives you Night Stalker radar and always radar with your primary.
With your primary.
If you ran that and Graviton Forfeit, you could have all three of the skills in the
For a Night Stalker.
far column Night
Yep.
Stalker at once.
Which is so I will probably never remove my memory of Galleon. I just because I'm a radar guy.
Interesting.
I
All
like
right.
to use the radar
he's a
regularly.
radar guy.
I can't. I'm switching constantly on the memories. I got them all in the 380s because I love playing around.
Well,
But yeah.
memory of Scory is pretty awesome
Scory's
for
good.
running the raid and PvP. It came in use
good for trials. I would
during
think.
Supremacy. I would
know?
think so too. Get
Yeah.
your super up. But so Knucklehead Radar clearly needs
It's
something
nothing
new.
now. Yeah.
So my idea was, and Kyle did inform me this isn't an original idea. It comes from Halo 2.
I'll have
4?
to hear it, and
Halo 4?
I can verify if it's Halo
It's
2 or
from
not
it's
if I hear it.
something
not-
Halo oriented, I
Not
think.
two.
Is this gonna
It's-
be
it's,
the-
it's an armor ability.
Is this going to be
so
the
it's 4,
Promethean
wasn't it?
vision?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. No, that's exactly
So,
what it is.
4.
Gotcha,
Okay,
that's 4.
so you would click something.
I was
you-
gonna say, it's
and-
actually Perfect Dark. There's a gun that does this. But
Even
yeah.
better. Good. Even better. So you would click something similar to a shade step that you activate this perk that releases a radar out from the helmet that you can see enemies and allies through walls, essentially.
Pretty cool.
And it would at least allow you to plan. It maybe would mark them, but maybe
So
that's
give
too
you
much.
the same sort of like when you're dead in trials and somebody's near your orb,
And you can
see
see-
the red outline like through
It's exactly
walls.
what I
Give you
want. The
something like
outline's
that.
there, and that's why I like it. I feel like it's already there. It's
It's
built
a built-in thing. It's just allowing you to have it.
And you could
always.
maybe, maybe use it once. It's got a cooldown of like 3-4 minutes. I mean, it doesn't have to be.
That's pretty long.
I guess Shade Step, yeah, you can use pretty.
Yeah,
quickly.
I don't think that's necessarily a broken thing because I always thought Promethean Vision sucked.
Yeah, it was always hard to use. Really hard to use.
I don't
so
think
it would work well.
Yeah, I don't think it should be any more delayed than a melee or.
Well, imagine
like
it in PvP. If you're running down a hall, you're sprinting, you click whatever it is.
Yeah.
And it allows you to see, there's a guy, over there
I
that
think
maybe is squatting, so he's not on your radar, but now you can see his outline.
Definitely be cool. That'd be good counter to like invisible people too. Like it allows you to see them.
Yeah, just to get
It
their
could
outline.
add more balance to the game.
Ooh,
Maybe.
I actually really like that.
That's a good idea.
Well, it upsets me that Knucklehead Radar is useless.
Nothing now. Yeah.
Now, unless I'm going to run Memory of Scory or something different, and I want that extra radar, which is really only useful PvE and hunting resources and things like that.
That's the only time you ever need it. I find it distracting almost
to have your radar up there.
No, to have the extra radar where it shows like things on the map, like it shows where like the
I love that perk.
Picking. I mean, I like it in PvE, but in PvP, if it shows me like dots and stuff that are
well,
not
and it'll
important,
show you,
it distracts
or
me.
it'll show you that there's a special drop.
Yeah, things like that.
But it's not active.
Yeah.
Give me something different that
is
lets me see that
distracting
it's
to me. Like
active.
I don't like the enhanced radar in PvP because that's unnecessary information to me. I need to know where the guys are. That's it.
Yeah.
Like,
I love radar, but it's I'm not gonna say I'm good at it by any means. There are definitely guys out there who know more about using radar, and they can figure out what the different size reds and all that. If someone's above you, below you, things like that. If it's red, it's red. I'm gonna assume that they're near me.
Understandable.
So making Knucklehead Radar.
Make it great again.
Make
it
it
relevant.
Knucklehead Radar.
It was never great. Make it good. For
Make
once.
it useful. Make it useful. That's all I would ask.
I want to talk about. I said it was like a perfect dark gun that kind of does this. It's the most broken gun in any game ever, and I just want to bring it up real quick. It's called the X-ray scanner. It's literally just if you aim it, you can see through walls, and it's a one-hit kill on anybody.
That's fantastic.
You can shoot them from anywhere on the map. Like it auto locks on, and it's just dead.
It shoots through walls.
Yeah, shoots through the walls. It's so ridiculously broken.
We should make a hand cannon that does that.
Oh,
That
that's a
should
good
be
idea.
someone's exotic. Is a hand cannon that can shoot through walls.
They used to. What was the over penetration?
Yeah, the
used to
armor
go
piercing
through?
rounds
Armor
used to
piercing,
be.
yeah.
You could just shoot. If you had a sniper, you could just shoot through walls and stuff, and so that
Which is pretty
the
cool.
map, the big huge map on the moon, there's this big glass dome in it, and you could just stay in the dome and see people go by and shoot them through
That's
the glass
fantastic.
and kill them, and then they obviously couldn't shoot you through the glass
Unless they also had.
had armor piercing gun.
So, Kyle, what
do
is
you
your?
have
I have a
for
couple.
us? He's got a couple.
Obviously.
I don't know what I'm gonna do for this Netflix thing still.
Oh, I'll give
you got some time
I'll give
now.
you Netflix while Kyle is reading through his list.
Okay, yeah. So I got some good ones. This one's not as good, but I think it'd be fun. Sunsinger exotic arms that your melee is turned to a short range stream of fire. I think that would be fun.
So like the Thunderstrike type deal
kind of
Or
thing,
is
but
it-
you
or is
hold it.
It holds.
Yeah, you hold it. Anyways, moving on from that one.
So
I
it's a
think that'd be fun.
flamethrower. I mean, it's a flamethrower.
Your melee is turned
Your melee's a
into
flamethrower.
kind of like you hold it to do damage kind of thing. You know what I'm saying?
Interesting.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
But I have a good idea for Warlock arms. And it makes Warlock's Void Bomb, it kind of has a quiver effect on it.
Ooh.
So, and this came
You got
about after we did the raid the first time, and throwing the basketballs was amazingly fun.
Yeah.
And I was thinking this is just like throwing a Void Bomb. Well, what if there was an exotic
That's
that
why I suck
you
at
could,
it.
you could, you suck at throwing Void Bombs?
I suck at being a warlock. So, yes.
Yes.
Yeah. But it turns your Void Bomb into 3 small basketball-sized
So like
bombs.
So
sort
one,
of like
2,
individual
3.
throwing of the one that
Like
splits
quiver.
it into 3 already.
Yeah.
I'd say
Like,
smaller than those.
I would
than
say
the
it'd be
split.
pretty powerful.
No,
Like,
it has
what
to
was
be
it?
like smaller, because like the way Quiver works.
Quiver works. I think that's a great,
Is a good balanced
yeah,
super.
great analogy.
And using
Not
that
when
for
I use it. When I use it, I
Warlock
die
thing.
immediately.
I know I can't use it at all.
yeah.
I'm down.
Yeah.
Will
it's
had
already
the
done.
audacity to say that there's too much armor on somebody using their shadow shot. He's like, I shotgunned somebody and they didn't die. I was like, you know that you play a Titan, right? Like, you're invincible when you use your super. What are you talking
Everything
about?
gets your health back as a Titan.
He's just he's like, why is there so much unfair armor on that shadow shot? I'm like, what?
You are completely
As soon
vulnerable.
as I use it, I'm up in the air, loud noise.
Yeah,
everyone
it's so
shoots me, I'm
difficult.
dead.
You are the target.
Yes.
You are everyone's target. Even your teammates are going, what is this guy doing?
And it's not like it's like something that hits and explodes. It's like it hits, and if you're not really close to them or on them, it does nothing. Like,
well, and that was my backup exotic, was something for hunters that turns the Night Stalker arrow into more like a like what happens with Celestial Nighthawk on
like a super one.
Yeah, like it hits and explodes and big void explosion.
one.
So it's kind of like Nova Bomb mixed with the Golden Gun.
Can we take the Nova Bomb that shoots out 3 at once, and can we make Quiver do that? So when I shoot, it's like I have 3 arrows.
3 arrows
shoot out like all in a row right there. So
I would want that too.
that'd be
All
cool.
of these. I want all of these.
I just want the image
warlocks.
of like the guy pulling back and like 3 of them form.
yeah.
That'd be cool looking.
Very Robin Hood.
Yeah.
That would look
exactly.
cool.
All right, continue with your.
You got another one for us?
Yeah, I got 2 more.
2.
So we've all used the artifact that turns enemies to your side.
Yes.
Enemies into allies.
That was the first one I picked up.
Of Timur.
Yep.
Timur. Yeah, that was the first one. Fun artifact, not very useful artifact, I would say.
If
but
you could get like an ogre.
yeah, if you get like an ogre,
you stab
or
a
something.
warlock, you stab a wizard of some sort, you're set for life.
Well, Kyle got the you got the drag on the pike.
Oh yes, I got a drag on a pike.
Drag on a pike,
and it was it
on.
annihilated things, and then it started shooting the big tank, the big fallen tank, and then it turned back and immediately ran me over and killed me. It was beautiful. I was so proud of him.
Made me kill my friends.
It was that was my best turning.
So what are you doing with an exotic?
Yes.
So the exotic is an exotic helmet, and it looks like a ball cap, and
like a baseball cap.
yeah, like kind of like a snapback hat, kind of like Ash Ketchum's hat.
Okay.
And so
I got you. All right.
And so what this does, instead of turning, you have to use it in conjunction to this artifact. You have to use them both.
Okay.
Okay.
And what it does is you use it on like
You're
a
gonna catch
captain
them
or
and
something.
You're
be
gonna
able to
catch bad
throw
guys
them
on
out.
Catch them and save them
figured that
so
out.
that you can chuck them into good places. Because a lot of times you like do it to a knight and all the other enemies are dead, and then he's just holding a sword
And then you're
next
just
to
stuck
you.
waiting for this
And
knight
you're
to
just
turn
yeah,
on you.
just
So
stuck.
you catch them.
So you
and
can catch them, and
all right,
then
now
you can
throw them and fight Omnigul for me.
at opportune
I
moments.
would like that
Okay.
if it replaced like your melee or grenade or something like that. Like instead of having a grenade,
So
you could throw your friendly ally.
your Pokeball.
Yeah. Like,
Maybe
like you use your melee once and it captures them, and then if you use it again, like
It throws
you
them.
That's
Yeah,
good.
so
Yeah.
you can't use your melee without throwing the thing, just for a little bit of balance for carrying around like a
for carrying
an
around an ogre in your pocket.
Yeah.
I got an ogre, guys. Tell me when to use it. I think it'd be so much
fantastic.
fun.
I like to think like it's the raid and the one servitor is about to go in and Kyle just catches it and then throws it far away so we can kill it.
Throw it off a mountain
Yeah.
or something.
We have
Oh,
more
and you
time.
can also it transfers over from games, so you can take it into the Crucible.
Oh, perfect. That'd
And
be
so
really
just
fair.
Bust
chuck it
out
up.
an ogre.
I would love to see I'm playing Crucible and then an ogre just pops up. In
You
the middle
know,
of the map.
and that perk of turns your enemies into allies.
Yeah.
What if that did work in Crucible?
How would that, just your controller gets taken over?
No. Like so, if Kyle's on the other team, I come up and stab him. Everything flips, so all the red names are now blue, and all the blue names are now red. So he doesn't know who
What
to
a
shoot.
horrible idea.
He'll see the
I would
team
never
name.
want to play.
The names.
That would be such
He'd
a
see the
horrible
names,
thing.
and so if he knows who he's playing with, great. But if you're running solo, you don't know who you're playing with.
You don't notice what color you are and stuff? I think he'd notice. I don't know.
No,
about
but that's
this
what I'm
one.
saying. Where like if I'm fighting, if Kyle's on the other team,
Right, but
he's
when he gets a
red.
kill and he notices that the score goes up on the other team. And
Well,
not
it'd only
his.
work like it'd be really short, but he'd be
Alright.
so confused. It'd just be
It's
like
such a weird thing.
That'd be
fantastic.
That'd be not. Can you imagine playing against somebody with that perk?
Yeah,
no, that's
well,
not
that'd be
0% fun. That'd be-
Horrible. I would never. I would just feel like it would end up being in like a week. It would end up being worthless when everybody just figured out what to look for, and like nobody would ever run it anymore.
Yeah.
And then it'd just be like year 4, somebody hits you with that. You're like, is someone running the freaking?
I would love that.
I just want to somebody like you shoot somebody in the Crucible, they hide so you can't shoot them anymore, and you just throw your Pokeball with a Thrall in it. The Thrall just runs around the corner. And...
I wish that you could just. I wish if it worked in Crucible, it was just always a Thrall that replaced like your melee.
yeah,
Like,
always
it's
a
just
Thrall.
it's garbage. Really, they could kill it really easily, but just you can just spawn a Thrall on the map every now and then that fights for you.
A cursed thrall.
Yeah. Ooh, cursed Thrall is
Because
so
then you-
unfair.
You throw it right at
cursed
them, and they
thrall,
try to
yeah.
fight it, and
You
it
can
blows up in
spawn
their face.
sniper shanks.
Good, yeah. You can spawn Taniks.
I caught Tanix. That'd be fantastic.
That would be.
I have one more.
One last
exotic.
one.
And this
more.
is that was my most fun idea. That was the funnest idea. But this exotic would give me back one of my favorite abilities in any game, and it's a Titan chest piece, and it gives you the ability Armor Lock.
Ooh, I love Armor Lock. I'm down. with
Armor
that.
Lock back in the day, Halo Reach.
So good.
So good. So
Just the feeling of like somebody runs up all confident, you just lock, they
Yep.
shoot, you unlock.
unlock, take down their shields, and punch them. Beautiful. Those were the
That
glory
could be
days.
pretty cool.
Yes,
That-
I loved Armor Lock.
It was one of my favorite things.
It'd be
about
perfect
Reach.
for
I
Titans.
Played, yeah,
You run that with Defender,
Yep, that's
that'd be fantastic.
golden. Even if it were just replaced your ward with that, I would think that would be cool. Like,
How would you use it?
So you
for
still have a
super,
shield,
though?
you still have a bubble.
yeah. What do
It just
mean,
wouldn't
how-
have the
You would
power.
only be able to use it.
I guess
like-
as your super. Oh, I don't know. Maybe I just feel like you couldn't have your bubble and also an armor lock thing, like
Yeah,
two
that would seem-
similar armor.
Well, it would
lock
make-
It's
thing.
definitely an
It would make-
overpowered ability. Like
But it would
they
make
had to
Titan more
nerf it
more
like
playable
crazy,
solo.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's why if you replaced
Yeah.
it with the bubble, it's like you're sacrificing your team defense element just for
yeah.
like your own. But maybe it also cuts your supercharge time like in half or whatever because it's something that you would want to use more
yeah.
often than a bubble. Like, be into
Yeah,
that.
no, I think that's.
I
cool
mean, I'm
idea.
down with. I agree that Armor Lock was probably way too OP, but I always loved using
It was so much fun. It was the best. Armor lock battles between two.
Oh yeah,
Where you're just over waiting.
yeah.
Who's
you're
gonna
like,
go
Who's
first?
gonna uncharge? Because when it shoots, it does that EMP.
Yeah, so
that
you have
takes
to-
down your shields when it
Yeah.
unlocks. So it's like someone's.
Gotta be smart with
You
it.
always gotta like get out of the radius and like try to guess when they're gonna unlock. It was always the throw a grenade next to them so that you hope it explodes like right when they
Yep.
get out of the
Yep.
lock. Oh, so good.
I like that one. Yeah, that'd be fun.
I really enjoy that one too.
Let us know in the comments.
Pitch us your exotic.
Pitch us your
and
exotic.
We will contact Bungie. We have that power.
because
We totally do.
Uh-huh.
They listen to us, and we'll get your exotic in the game. Kyle's
Yeah.
uncle
it'll happen.
works for
Yeah,
Bungie.
my uncle works for Bungie, so
Yeah,
Okay.
it's our last bit, right?
Yeah.
Got to talk about
We got to talk about horror movies.
horror movies.
Horror movies. But Kyle missed out last week.
yeah, I didn't
and-
get to
and
share my favorite horror movie
franchise. Yes,
Yeah,
which
so-
is
so
distinct
what-
from horror movie.
What we've got time for? Yeah, we've got time for Kyle's favorite franchise.
I'll be quick.
No,
It's
no, no,
It's
you're fine.
paranormal. It's
Go.
Paranormal
All right,
Activity. It's so much fun. It's easily my favorite franchise.
Why?
Because it is an experience that you get, that you go in with people, like going to a theater for Paranormal Activity. It was just
never did it.
it was
That to me is the worst.
The worst.
The
You don't like a
worst?
horror movie?
No, I
In
want
theater?
to watch it in
My-
a house because it's about a haunted house.
The
It's
theater-
scary if you're in a
True.
house.
Horror
is
movies
true.
are
I
scariest
would agree.
alone at home at night. The only way to watch.
Very-
But it is.
very
I
true.
will. I know exactly what you're saying. Describe
Yes.
the experience.
Describe.
what I love about seeing. What I saw 2 Paranormal Activity movies in theaters, and what I loved about it was there in no other theater experience have I been so involved with the people around me, enjoying the
Like you're holding them.
yeah, like as soon as the movie started, people were like already freaked out because they played horror movie like trailers that were kind of spooky, and people were like, "Why am I here?"
Spooky,
And then-
skeleton.
And the way Paranormal Activity is like during the day you're like, okay, things are chill, and then as soon as it cuts to a night scene,
The witching hour.
everyone
Yeah.
you're with,
It's always
like,
around.
everyone's
It's always
like,
around 2:00.
Yep.
yeah, 3 o'clock. But yeah, everyone buckles up. Basically, there's no buckles, but
You don't have
they all
buckles
sit
in your
forward,
theater.
and there was like, oh crap, what's gonna happen? And then
Everyone's looking in the corners of the screen, like
What's gonna
something's
move? What's gonna move? I
Yeah.
I love that, and
And
I
then
think that's really cool.
and then the movie ends, and people run out of the theaters, and they're scared. And yeah, I've enjoyed it that way. I've enjoyed watching it with friends in my dorm rooms and stuff. And Paranormal Activity, I think, is just a fun event of a movie. The new one sounded dumb. I didn't see them.
It's not very good. I've seen it. Here's my problem with the Paranormal Activity movies. While I agree, it is really fun to search the corners of the screen and be like, what's going to move? What's going to move? I don't think they do it enough. They don't
They
make
should
a
increase
lot
it.
of they don't do a lot of subtle things in Paranormal Activity. I'm always looking for like the small, slow build, and it goes from like nothing to a Ouija board bursts into flames. Like I wanted a little bit of like something happening in the middle.
No,
Like,
even just like a cup
Yeah.
in the back just moving.
yeah,
a
just
tiny
like
bit. Like
I want something I
would
can
be.
barely, like the clock ticks the wrong way. Like I want the
and you don't notice
observ-
it the first 15
Yeah.
times you watch it.
I want there to
but
be
yeah.
things that I can dissect as a viewer, like the really observant viewer.
Yeah, I
can
think the
find.
first one was the closest to that, but it
Yeah.
I
wasn't
would agree.
quite where you would want
Yeah.
it. But the first one was just like, okay, she stood out of bed and stood there for 6 hours. That was pretty creepy.
Yeah,
you know, like
very creepy.
And then like the third movie was like, that kid just jumped off a balcony and survived and came back up. It was like, what in the world?
That
like
yes,
creepy
that
stuff,
moment,
or
when
like
she walks,
the moving
she's walking
camera.
above. Oh,
There's the moving,
The
camera,
moving camera.
The third
and then
one's
it
my
goes
favorite.
back
I
and
love
like
the fan camera.
that was so good because you're
Yeah.
like, oh crap, it's going back. What's gonna happen?
yeah.
See, that's a great thing.
And
I
there
always
are-
wanted
there
that
are
subtle
moments.
spot.
Oh,
Can
yeah.
you spot the difference?
Yeah, can you spot the
What
difference?
has changed?
The entire kitchen is now on the ceiling.
Yes.
Can you
Yes.
spot the
So
Can you
good.
spot the there are moments of that franchise that are excellent. I will agree.
Yes.
Now, my favorite when that came out on DVD, there was also a movie that was a straight to DVD movie called Paranormal Entity.
Yep.
And I was with a group of people. We were going to rent Paranormal Activity, but the person we sent into the store to
Was a
grab it
dummy?
was an idiot
Oh,
and
classic.
grabbed Paranormal Entity.
Ooh. Ooh.
The opening scenes are almost exactly the same. So we're watching it, and a friend of what part of the group had seen Paranormal Activity, and she was all excited about watching it again. And she goes, "That looks like that actor looks different than I remember."
Is that Mika?
But this is exactly what I was watching. So it was almost like shot for shot, kind of straight to
Interesting.
DVD remake. It was, but she immediately said, "Go back to the store and
Well,
get
good.
the right."
You got the right one
Yes.
eventually. That's the moral.
And it
of the
terrified
story.
me.
Yes,
It
it's good.
it's
They have a
genuinely
really,
scary.
They have a really good lore going for them for the first
First
three
couple, yeah.
movies.
Yeah, it's
They're like
good
interesting,
stuff.
Oh, yeah.
and then it gets
It gets crazy.
too big and out there,
big.
and then there's like the 6 spoilers for this last one. There's
It
like
sucks.
time travel. They go back to when the girls were like little girls in the 80s.
Yeah.
Like Hunter and this
Okay.
other random girl are like, they need their blood to turn Toby into a real person.
That's right.
They make
Yep.
him into a real guy.
No,
like you
thank
just
you.
see the
No.
worst part. You don't ever really see him. All you see is like really skinny chicken legs because the camera has fallen on the ground, and they're like, yeah, the little girl's like, "Hi, Toby," or whatever, and you see really skinny chicken legs like snap this mom's neck and then like grab the little girl's hand and walk away. Like,
Okay.
it's the worst.
It sounds
And I was like,
terrible.
that doesn't look scary at all. And
Did you-
what are the
did you rent it?
ramifications?
Did you stream it?
It was on Amazon Prime
It
for
was?
free. I would not pay money for
I was
it.
just
Do not recommend.
I was asking.
4 is the best ending in my
I can't
opinion,
remember
but
how that one ends.
the mother is the
That's the one with
the lady is chasing
Yes.
the girl through the house, and the girl escapes, and then there's just a horde
of people.
Yeah, the
people.
coven stuff gets so weird to me, though.
I
The
agree.
whole
It
coven
lost me
is
there.
Is too
that was the
much.
moment.
Yeah.
But I did like that moment.
That starts in the third one, the
Yeah.
coven.
You see it at the. You're like,
because
Yeah.
the grandma's
what?
a
And
part
yeah,
of it.
Yeah,
or-
because it's like the boyfriend who's awesome. He's really likable in the third
Yeah.
one. He like the grandma walks up and looks at him, and then he's like accordions in half or whatever. And then there's all this witchcraft, and I was just like, okay, like I like everything in the first three movies up until the end of the third one, and then
Yeah,
I like
would-
everything in the other ones that doesn't have to deal with that crap.
yeah.
But it just is so weird to me. I don't know.
I like the coven stuff because I don't really get what it is supposed to even be. It's just really creepy to me, and so I really like
Well,
it.
it doesn't even make sense. In the sixth movie, the implication seems to be that this coven can harness Toby's powers. Like they have magic like through him, basically. It's like you channel yourself through him and you can see the future and stuff like that. So then the question becomes, why are we trying to make this guy
Real.
and lose our power?
It seems
Why would he
idiotic.
want to be real when now he can like travel through time and rip people in half and all that? And what are the ramifications of creating a hell beast demon monster in human form?
Oh, it's
in the past,
fine.
since we've brought in time travel, now I have to question he already had to have existed in human form for all the other films.
For all the other, yep.
Because that's how time travel works.
Yep.
He existed at one point, he existed always, and it's ludicrous. They killed the franchise with that last movie.
Yeah.
The camera that can see the ghosts and stuff.
That's just
The least believable thing is the first day they like filmed the daughter's room. This black goopy crap shows up on the camera and like forms like a demonic form and is like moving like through the room and stuff. And they don't just move immediately. Like, they watch that footage and they're like, "We'll just let her keep sleeping in that room. It's fine."
Well, she can't see it.
Yeah.
She's not looking through the camera.
It's
She's
fine.
fine.
But I
It's
just like, why would you
fine.
stay there? Even when the guy is like, if you move, it'll just follow you. But that's like after 4 nights of having seen this crap on the camera, I would have
It's
moved
fine.
immediately. It was so unbelievable. And also, I don't understand why Toby is like, he always starts off weak and gets more powerful. Like
Yeah.
as the movie's going, why does he always keep the same
I don't need
power
to
level?
understand it. I just want to be scared.
I think they would be better as disconnected stories, honestly. Like the
I like
first
the-
three
I like
should be
the-
connected,
yeah,
and the
the
rest,
first
if
three
they
have
weren't,
good
I would
and-
have been okay with it.
Well, we have to finish.
We
Same
must
thing
Finish.
with Netflix horror movie recommendations.
A recommendation, yes.
Yeah, unless you have another streaming service you use and want to promote.
Nah, I'm not gonna plug anything else. You want to watch Paranormal Activity: The Ghost Dimension on Hulu
Amazon.
or Amazon Prime.
Amazon Prime.
Yes, that's a
Um,
winner.
Mine this week is going to be The Invitation. It's on Netflix. It's got
I hope this isn't too weird. Keep in
No, no,
mind
no,
the
it's-
average age of our viewers. We got high school
this
and younger.
one. I believe it's rated R, but probably
That's
mostly for language.
I mean, I saw rated R horror movies when I was a kid, so
Yeah,
it's probably fine.
It's fantastic. I thought was going to go one direction and instead went a completely different direction.
One Direction.
One
You
direction.
said One Direction.
Yes.
Okay.
I don't know
Um,
any songs, or I would have started singing one.
there were so many moments that felt familiar, and yet at the same time it felt very original. And the build up you can see coming, but at the same time there are moments where you're going, that's not it. Maybe that is it. That's not it. And then at the same time, when they finally do reveal it, it's not quite that.
That's not quite it.
It kept me guessing the whole time, and probably my what I loved about it the most is it felt real. It felt truly scary without being supernatural, and
I think it's usually scarier when it's not supernatural for
yeah,
me.
it really shook me. I will say now the ending, not in a graphic, gory, anything way, but in a psychological, what the impact of this.
Wow.
Of what happens.
He's very passionate about
Yeah.
way
Oh, it
more
was-
than I am about my movie.
It
that
was
I
a
looked
great,
up on Netflix in 2 seconds.
a truly great movie that I highly recommend. The Invitation. It has the newest Dario from Game of Thrones.
Dario Naharis.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
That's cool.
The second one,
Yes.
not the original.
Not the
one.
guy from the end of season 3.
Yeah,
four?
the one
I
that's
don't
in
know.
a majority. He's Dario.
He's
the most
the one guy's been
of
in
it.
like one episode, and the
Yeah.
other guy,
Yeah, and he's a fantastic actor. Does a great job.
cool. I'll go with mine, which I just looked up, remembered. Hush. Hush is a
interesting.
Yeah, I think it's an enjoyable movie. It's not super graphic or anything.
No.
I think it's a good like starter horror movie.
It's a throwback.
Yeah.
I can see why you'd like it because
Yeah.
it is a bit of a throwback.
It's about the basic gist is about a deaf woman who's like alone in the woods, and there is a man outside who wants to kill her, and it's her attempts to not let him kill her. And we don't know why he wants to kill her. We don't really know anything about it. It's just that's it. That's the type of horror movie I like.
Yeah.
Is just a guy trying to kill someone.
Well, and it's got its own little bit of originality to it.
Yeah, the
in
whole
that-
the
in
deaf
that-
thing is really
in
it's
that
played
she's
pretty
deaf.
well. Yeah,
I have read, and because I don't know sign language,
Mm-hmm.
I cannot verify this in any way.
Yeah.
But I have been told that some of her sign language is awful,
Oh, that's
like just completely awful.
immersion ruined.
Um,
I don't go into horror movies for acting or sign language. All right.
but the idea of it is
Yes.
truly scary. And when the killer figures it out that she's deaf,
Yeah. It's
that
really
adds a whole new element
there's
of
a
him
lot
messing
of-
with her.
there's a lot of extra tension because there's always the best feeling in a horror movie is that like tension for me
Yeah.
when you know the guy's there and they don't, and she has a disability stopping her from knowing.
Yeah.
It's like, "You don't make any noise. You can't tell that you're making noise right now."
Yeah.
Like,
You don't know that you are being loud, and
yeah.
you are.
And at that
And-
one,
and it
if
was
that one's
enjoyable.
rated R, it would have to be barely rated
Barely.
R. There's not a lot
Hardly
of
any language.
graphicness in
There's
it.
some blood, but that's
Some
not,
blood,
I mean,
but it's not like
no more.
people getting ripped in half Saw stuff.
It's
just-
certainly less gory than I would say even parts of some of those original 80s movies.
Yes, I
were.
would agree with
Yeah,
that.
but that does remind me of the movie that I'm going to talk about next week, which I'm
Oh,
glad because I
perfect.
completely
Ooh, next
forgot about
week.
that movie.
I have one that I need to check is on Netflix for next week.
I know, yeah. Kyle?
Kyle, your turn.
Well, I have to admit, I'm not very well versed in horror movies on Netflix.
Is that the
You
end?
need to,
Yeah,
you need to check out my
you didn't
blog.
look one up real quick?
Huh?
You didn't even.
I tried to look one up,
Oh,
but
no.
You want me
I
to
was-
give you one?
Huh?
I can give you one if you're...
Kyle, you're
No,
next.
I think. See, my strength with
only that-
Netflix
it's not on there,
suggestions.
Is it not anymore?
It's not
It
on
used
there
to be.
anymore.
Darn.
I know.
My strengths in suggesting Netflix movies will come into play
Oh, Christmas time for sure.
in a couple months because I am very well versed in the
Christmas
Christmas
connoisseur over here.
movies on Netflix.
So we know next week Kyle
So-
needs to watch at least one Netflix horror movie this week, so he has one to recommend for next week.
Kyle's just going to recommend the Human Centipede and call it a
no.
day.
Scream 2. The original's not on there.
Are there
but
any
the sequel
Saw
is
movies
pretty
on
good.
Netflix?
No.
Because I've watched all of them and I really like that series as well.
Gross.
So.
That was my
Scream 2
franchise
is
last
Kyle's
week.
recommendation for you. Rent the first one and watch the second one. It's a pretty good sequel.
See, my recommendation is watch The Nightmare Before Christmas because that's my
Is that on
favorite.
Netflix?
That's my favorite Halloween.
I don't
movie.
think it's on
Oh, it's
Netflix.
not on Netflix. I forgot.
You're ruining this, Kyle.
Suck. Watch Stranger Things again.
Watch Stranger Things for a second time over this week, and then join us next week for Husky Raid,
Husky
episode
Radio
12.
12, yes.
But thank you for joining us this week for
Yes.
Husky Radio, episode 11. Enjoy your October.